Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am the Dawgfatha, and today, beef shanks. That's right, beef shanks. It's not a very common cook that people make. So hey, I'm gonna show you how to turn this into this. You with it? Let's get it. So that's right, guys, we are doing a beef shank today. And hey, I got this one compliments of our good friends over at Porter Road. Now, if you don't know about Porter Road, guys, they are a fantastic meat purveyor that you can order from online. They have antibiotic-free, hormone-free, dry-aged cuts of beef that you can order, guys. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal cuts, all right? I'm gonna leave their information down in the description box below. So make sure you click that link and go get your Porter Road products for yourself. But let's get into this beef shank. All right, we're gonna get this beef shank cut out of the package. We're just gonna pat it dry here. Great looking beef shank here from Porter Road. Excellent job. Got a nice little fat cap all the way around this thing. And we're not gonna trim it at all, guys. It's looking pretty good, nicely dry aged. So let's get our rub together. All right, to put together our rub, it's gonna be a fairly simple rub, salt and pepper. We're gonna use some kosher salt here. This is some Diamond Crystal kosher salt. We're gonna go a 1-to-1 ratio. So I got a half a cup of kosher salt that's going in here. And we've got some 16 mesh coarse ground black pepper. Half cup of black pepper is gonna go in here. And that's gonna be it for our rub, guys. We're just gonna go ahead and put a lid on this. Gonna shake it up, get it nicely mixed up here. And just like that, we got our rub. All right, so now that we got our rub put together, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing seasoned up. And I like to use a little hot sauce. Now, you don't have to use hot sauce, but I like to use hot sauce when I do beef. So I'm gonna put a little hot sauce on here. And you can put whatever hot sauce on you want. Doesn't really matter. Again, this is purely optional, guys. You don't have to do this at all. It's just something I like to do. Now that we got our hot sauce on here as a binder of sorts, we're gonna start to put our rub on. And we're just gonna coat this thing very liberally all over. And it's a pretty dense cut of meat, so it can take all of this rub here, all of this seasoning that we're putting on. We're gonna pat it around on the tray here, pick up all this seasoning on the bottom. And just like that, guys, we got this beef shank all seasoned up and ready to go on our grill. All right, so today we're gonna be using our LonestarGrillz Kong, guys. So we're gonna get it loaded up. Now today we're gonna use some Fogo lump charcoal, so let's get that put in. So we got our lump charcoal put in here, guys. We're just gonna spread it around evenly. All right, guys, so now that we've got this Kong loaded up with charcoal, we're gonna light a spot right here in the middle. All right, guys, so now that we got this charcoal lit, we're gonna get some wood put in here. Today, I'm gonna be using some post oak wood chunks. So we're gonna place one in the middle right there on top of the fire, and we're gonna place some around the outside. So as it burns out to like the rest of these coals, we'll get a good continuous smoke going throughout this cook. We've got our coals lit. We're gonna go ahead and get our grill put back together. We're gonna put our diffuser plate on, followed by our bottom rack. We're gonna make sure we leave the open hinge here on the front in case we need to add more coals. We're gonna put our top rack in, and we are gonna put our water pan in here. You don't have to use a water pan if you don't want to, but I like to use it, so we're gonna do it. And we're gonna fill our water pan here. All right, so we now have our LonestarGrillz Kong lit. We got it going here. Now, what we're gonna do right now is let it come up to temperature. So what we're looking for today is we're gonna be trying to cook somewhere between 250 and 275. I kind of like 275, but I might try to hold it down a little lower at the front end of the cook just to get a little bit more smoke into this beef shank. But we're gonna go ahead and get this up to temperature, and then we're gonna get the beef shank on. Now, what we're gonna do here to get it up to temperature is I've got both the top vent and the bottom vents wide open right now just to get it up. Once we get to within about 25-30 degrees of our target cooking temperature, I'm gonna go ahead and choke those vents down so that we can kind of settle into our cooking temperature range. And hey, we're just gonna let it go from there. So I'll bring you back when we get ready to put this beef shank on, all right? Now, one thing I did do is I put some foil here over the bone just because I want to try and not let that bone get too dark. So we do have foil around the bone, and that's about it. Now we're going to close this thing up and we're going to let it keep going. So we just hit the 4-hour mark exactly. We're still rocking right at about 250. And guys, I'm going to give you a tip. When you're working with a Kamado, you want to have everything ready. We've got more seasoning ready here if we need it. We've got our thermometer here in case we need it, and we've got a spritz here in case we need it. Reason being is you want to be able to move fast because you don't want your temperatures to get out of control. So we're going to pop it open and take a look here. Again, 4-hour mark, and we are looking pretty good there. I do think I want to spritz it. Now today I'm just spritzing with straight water, guys. Nothing else in here but water. So we're going to spritz with that. And we're going to give it just a little sprinkle more of our rub. Again, this is just salt and pepper. So we're going to sprinkle some more on there. And we're going to close it up and keep it going. All right, gang, so as you can see, it's a beautiful day out here on Barbecue Boulevard, and we got the pit lit. So I wanted to take the time to inform you guys, this is a collaboration cook. I'm doing a collaboration with my brothers, Triple B's Barbecue, as well as Cooking with CJ. All three of us are affiliates for Porter Road, who has graciously provided us this beef shank we're cooking today. Now guys, since we're doing a collaboration, I want to make sure that you know to go check out their videos, go check out their channels. If you haven't subscribed to them, make sure you go and subscribe to their channels as well. I will definitely put their links down there in the description box below, so go check it out. So hey, I'm gonna get back to this cook here, or I might get in the pool, I don't know. Game time decision. See you in a minute. All right, so we have just hit the 5.5-hour mark, and we're gonna take a look here. And it looks like we've got the dark coloring that I want on it. Just for the record here, we're sitting at about 157 degrees internal temperature, 165 on that side. So we're gonna go ahead and get it wrapped up, guys. All right, gang, so as you just saw, again, we hit the 5.5-hour mark. We got the color on it we wanted. We went ahead and wrapped up this beef shank. We got it double wrapped in foil. We got it back on our grill. Now at this point, we're just gonna let it break down. All those connective tissues in there, we wanna get it broken down so this thing can get just really tender and fall apart, you know, fall apart tender. So we're rolling at 250. We're gonna go ahead and crank the temperature up to 300, and we're just gonna let it go until I hit the tenderness that I'm looking for. At that point, we'll pull it off and we'll let it rest. So I might bring you back when we pull it off to rest, or I might just bring you back after we finish the rest period, okay? Hang in there, guys. We're almost through this. All right, guys, hey, we are back in the studio. We got our beef shank off the pit. Now, it took us about 9.5 hours to get it to where we wanted it. We pulled it off, and then we let it rest overnight. That's right, we're the next day. We let it rest overnight in our oven, just like we would a brisket. Put my oven on 150 degrees and just let it sit there all night and rest up. And man, look at this phenomenal looking beef shank, guys. It's just looking really good. Got a little rosemary in here for some picture purposes, but we'll go ahead and pull that out. Now, we did not pull the fat and silver skin that was around the outside. We did not pull it off because we didn't want this thing to fall apart on us. So here we are, we've got it. And man, as you can see, this is just ready to come right apart, guys. Look at that. It's just coming. I mean, the bone, we can just pull this bone right out of here. Now, this right here is gonna make a dog happy. But look at this beautiful meat. We can pull the silver skin and fat cap right off of there, guys. And we've got all of this wonderful meat right here. We've got to taste this just as it is first, right? So we're gonna take a bite. Man, that's some phenomenal tasting beef, guys. It's got a great smokiness to it, and it's got a very unique flavor. But man, we're gonna put this together with this ragu, guys. So let me show you how we did this. And what I'm gonna get started with here is I've got some smoked beef tallow here that I'm gonna put into my pot here. And we're probably gonna go with a good couple of tablespoons, maybe 2.5 tablespoons of some of that beef tallow right there. All right, now to this beef tallow, we're gonna start a mirepoix, guys. Now mirepoix is just a fancy way of saying celery, onions, and carrots. So we're gonna go in with our carrots here first, just simply because carrots take a little bit longer to cook through and soften up a little bit. Now the thing about a ragu is typically a meat-based sauce, which we've got our meat out there on the grill, right? We're smoking along, got that beef shank going. So we're starting it off with some smoked beef tallow here, guys. And so that's what we're gonna do. Now we've got the carrots going in here. We're just gonna soften it up just a little bit, let it go for a minute or two before we add in our celery and our onions. We're gonna build flavor as we go along, so we're gonna add in a little bit of kosher salt here, just a little pinch here, about a 2-finger pinch of kosher salt. All right, so this is working along here really well for us. Now we're gonna go in with our onions and our celeries, guys. We're gonna get that put in there, and we're gonna cook this down as well. Again, we're gonna be adding flavor, so we're gonna add just another little 2-finger pinch. We're not gonna go too super salty in here. We really don't wanna over salt this at all. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna add in here right quick is we've got some tomato paste here. So we're just gonna add in maybe a tablespoon or so of, I'll call it 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, guys. So we're just gonna kinda move this tomato paste around here and let it cook off that raw flavor that's in there, and the tomato paste is going to richen this up really nicely. So we're going to cook this through. All right, so we've got this going here. We've got the tomato paste in there with our mirepoix, and we've been running it here for a few minutes. And what we're going to add to this is a little red wine. Now, using a dry red wine, you can use whatever you'd like, but that's what we're going to put in here. And I'm putting in about a cup of red wine to it here, and basically we're going to mix this together and then kind of let it just simmer and reduce here, and that'll just intensify that flavor. All right, guys, so as we are working on reducing this wine down, we're going to add in a little bit of our seasonings here. Now, I'm not measuring anything, I just kind of eyeball everything here, but we're going to start off with a little bit of red crushed peppers here. I like a little heat. If you don't like the heat, don't put it in there, but we're going to put a little in there, and let's see, we're going to probably, because again I like the heat, we're probably going to go with about I'm going to say about a tablespoon of peppers there. It's probably a strong tablespoon, but hey, like I said, I like the heat. We're going to also go in here with some oregano. Now if you have fresh, that's fine. The dehydrated stuff is going to just be a little bit more intense. So we're probably going to go with about a teaspoon of that, and as well as garlic. Now a lot of times I use fresh garlic, but today I'm going to be using the dehydrated stuff here, the granulated garlic, and we're going to go with about a teaspoon there as well, and we're going to work this around. We're going to continue to reduce down this red wine and this mirepoix. We're just building a lot of flavor right here. All right, so we've reduced down this wine here pretty well with this mirepoix. We've got our peppers and garlic and oregano put in here. Now we're gonna add in some tomato sauce, guys. And basically I had some diced tomatoes, so I just ran them through my blender. Got them nice and soupy for us. So we're gonna add that in there. Now I'm using here about 32 ounces. And it just really depends on how much you want to make. But I've got about 32 ounces here that we're putting in. And we're going to mix this up a little bit. Again, we're going to add a 2-finger pinch of kosher salt. To this, we're actually going to add in some parsley. I got some flat leaf parsley here, and I'm going with a full 3-finger pinch here. Just putting a little in there. Now at this point, our ragu is put together, and it's just got to have time to really meld together. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let this come up to a little boil almost a hard simmer, and then we're going to reduce it down, and we're just going to let it go for a couple of hours just to really intensify the flavors. Again, guys, our ragu is pretty much put together. We're just going to let it simmer away, and I'll bring you back here when it's time for us to get the meat in there and get this dish all pulled together. All right, See you in a bit. All right, so here we are, guys, with our final product. Now, I know I said I was going to bring you back earlier, but this video is taking a little longer than I wanted to. So all I did was just add our shredded beef shank into our ragu sauce, and then cook my pasta according to the way it says on the directions. Now, I'm using pappardelle. You can use any pasta that you like, but that's really all I did, guys. So we put it on this pasta. We added some Parmesan cheese and some parsley, and now it's time for us to go in for a bite. Let's go check this out. Look at that, man. We got that nice beef shank on there, the pasta, the ragu sauce. Let's go in for a bite, guys. All right, before I bite into this, remember, guys, if you enjoyed what you saw here, make sure you check out these videos right here, as well as hit that subscribe button up there. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.